The time has come to share some meanings that I have made up about the position of the planets and such in regards to the eclipse tonight, the night of the 14th of the 5th month of the year 1440. So the sun will be in 20 degrees and 51 minutes Sagittarius. And we can say that this represents a rise in one's reputation and an ascent past liberation. And the lunar node in the 16th degree and 49th minute of Sagittarius is temperance of love. And the other lunar node in 16 degrees Gemini, 49 minutes. And that's the art of conveying experience. And for the full moon, 20 degrees Gemini, 51 minutes, and the earth sign as well, we have establish prayers or rituals upon a material foundation. And for the earth sign, we have silent union. And for Mercury, Mercury's in 15 degrees, 42 minutes, Sagittarius. And that's a warning of predators, or a message of predation. And in Venus, Venus we have 4 degrees and 40 minutes Sagittarius. And a meaning of that can be philosophy with a goal. Because remember, philosophy is not just quoting philosophers like they're prophets or something. Philosophy is, it is a method. It's a way of thinking things out. Mars, 3 degrees, 27 minutes in Pisces. And we need to remember to be firm and specific. Jupiter, 18 degrees, 51 minutes in Pisces, an empathetic leader. Now, I've gotten comments on my channel. I guess it's an insult nowadays to say autism or some other illness that you don't, if you don't like the content. But empathy, as opposed to being like a sociopath, is, that's what most people mean when they say empaths. It's like, no, being sensitive is different. And it's not, oh, you're just really offended for no good reason. That's not it either. But in whatever case that you are a leader, it is important to be aware of and consider the conditions and the impacts upon others. It's not about, even if you are the boss, there's more than just, I must have it my way. There's more to being a leader than that. Saturn, we find Saturn at 5 degrees, 47 minutes in Scorpio, and that's a crafty loner. A crafty loner. It's important to be set apart, and it's important to transcend endings. And for Uranus, we have 8 degrees, 43 minutes, Pisces. Help out of being manipulated or helping others who are being manipulated. In Thelema, one of the main points of it is to be beyond your own personal or the social, to be beyond the outside programming. So that's certainly the negative. That's certainly dealing with the negative or bad sense of the term manipulation. With Neptune, 4 degrees, 37 minutes in Aquarius. And that's good and truth beyond the personal and the collective. And of course, we have to judge with what is available and according to what is available. But let's not justify doing things that we shouldn't. Sometimes it's better not to act. So we judge constantly. Let's not judge judgment harshly. The worst judges are those who say we shouldn't judge because it's not right to judge. No. A judgment includes when we are doing something and saying, we shouldn't even, we don't have enough to form a proper opinion, so that's a judgment. Pluto is 11 degrees, 18 minutes in Sagittarius, and that's a pursuit of belief, faith, and knowledge. And there's a difference here when we have wisdom in regards to what is beyond our lives and beyond matter. And for Vertex, we have 21 degrees, 4 minutes in Taurus. And that can be a symbol of expectations about to be helped or fulfilled. And, well, let's not overreach that just whatever, there's a lot of things that we expect that we shouldn't expect, but some expectations somewhere. If you think hard enough, anything that you make up about this planet or this star in some position is going to be true eventually in some sense. And if you're, a little more broad and creative with things, you're going to find something more. And that's one of the things I like with these videos. If people share, okay, how does that meaning connect to my own lives? Because I'm trying to find guidance that wouldn't be found making it up and connecting it to the stars, but I am connecting the meaning to the stars. I'm not saying this happens because this planet and this position and all that other stuff. The last lunar eclipse, a bunch of deer were lined up just watching the moon before the sunrise, and it was like, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it, like 11 deer or something like that, all lined up, and I was able to get closer to them than usual, and out there in the forest, it was amazing, but, so there are physical effects, but let's not get, so, Vesta, 14 degrees, 27 minutes in Capricorn. Women corrupted and plotting together. Anything with a gender or race or country connection with my page, or talking about a specific individual to make a political point, or a comment on someone else's political video to make a point, I felt like cleaning that off, so that was a squeak sound. It's, try to think of these things beyond that. I don't want my channel to be limited as such. So Juno, also a name for Jupiter, kind of confusing for them to have done that, but 13 degrees, 50 minutes in Aries. And help in ruling by separate roles. I talk about a unification of a world government, or a most of the world government, or a large part of the world government. There's not the need for as many countries as there really are. That doesn't mean that the certain ethnic groups can't have their own level of things, and that there can't be minorities with their own rights, and and permitted people on top of, in addition to protected people. And it doesn't mean that at all. But that's sort of how things run. It's not just one leader rules everything. It's one leader, and then there'll be provincial leaders and that sort of thing. So it's a lot of things, a lot fewer things have to change than realize. A Chiron is will be in 18 degrees, 45 minutes in Aquarius. The new methods of healing. And I'm using the divisions. The moon really is in Gemini, thank you very much. So in the age of Aquarius right now, it's in Gemini. But we have, which is either the twins or the brothers, male, female, or it's a voluptuous woman in the sky. What the constellations were to different cultures varies. But Chiron in Aquarius can be new methods of healing. And 13 degrees, 20 minutes in Capricorn, Lilith comes out to secrets of witchcraft. Now, I report on all sorts of spiritual paths on my page. And in doing that, of course, I have to come up with a different list. But in reporting about what is, sometimes I'm offering other, typically I'll offer, I'm responding to things. I'm not necessarily saying to do everything that I've ever thought of mentioning that people do. And I think I'm pretty clear in some of that's, human sacrifice and whatnot, but, and various other things are not. I'll offer alternative explanations or what else can be done and point out that certain things aren't necessary. But Pallas, we're going to find Pallas in 16 degrees, 33 minutes, Virgo, which is sort of its ideal sign, I guess people could say. And that is about a pure familiar to be with for functional reasons. And this is more than an issue of marriage, but that is far more essential than you just find the most attractive or wealthy or best status person you can find. But what happens in the real world with, can mean the difference between it working and not working. We have Eris. An Eris in 13 degrees, 2 minutes, Pisces, and doesn't understand the illusions or experiences of outsiders. And as much as I try to turn away from what is wrong, the evil and ignorance, however you phrase it, some people would use the words even good or and truth, like in a derogatory sense or something. But I admit, and everybody has to admit, that they're not really having the experiences of others, even if they've had similar experiences. So to some degree, we don't understand those experiences. I'm known by some as a dream interpreter, because I've done a lot of that for people over the years, but I require some of their experience and understanding to be able to do that. I comment and question on other people's stuff in order to, whether they respond or not, out of trying to get an understanding of what things are for them and why they believe or don't believe what they do, why they do and don't do things. And Eros, I didn't get the angle that it's in at the moment of the eclipse, and the power and changing of desire. And so the houses, where's the houses? Some people would set, the one chart that I'm looking at, we're right in the middle, 8 and 9. 7, 8, 9, 10. So 9 and 10 opposite that would be, like 4. But some people, whether the first house is right after the midnight or right after the sunrise or right after the midday or right after the sunset or right after the midnight, it varies. But the positions that I am thinking in Basically, almost everything on the main bodies on this chart, not Lilith and Paleth and Eros and Eris and Chiron and Juno and Vesta and Vertex. We have, well, Vertex, whatever. You know, your typical chart, you're going to see that everything's pretty much number 4 and 7 through 9. 7 through 12. So symbolism that we can throw in additionally is that the bulk, we're going to connect to parents, spouses, death, travel, dominion, kingship, what you're in charge of, whatever, any type of dominion, friendship, and confinement. Typically listed as prison, but it goes a lot beyond that sort of thing. And the other houses, 1, love, 2, wealth, 3, brothers, 5, children, and 6, healing. And so, the new methods of healing, what is missing in that? Oh, I guess maybe that would be outside your typical. So we're going new methods of healing. So let's show you, before I leave, the various specifics about the lunar eclipse to come here, and comment and question with your own meaning. Your own experience that these things come out to, and realize there's a lot more meaning, opposite meanings even, for various things here. And a sage directs the oracle instead of consulting it. And that's what I've done. I've tried to bring out guidance according to the symbol, but towards what I'm thinking. So